Hello everyone, welcome to the data science tutorial. In this video, I am going to cover what is big data, sources of big data, types of big data, need for the data science, what is data science analogy, then we are going to see life cycle of data science, steps to learn data science, types of programming languages which can be used for data science, types of IDE, types of Python libraries, types of machine learning algorithms, then applications of data science, and last is jobs in data science. So let's start with the lecture. So first let us understand what is big data. Data which is very large in size is called as big data. Normally we work on a data of size MBs or maximum GBs, but the data in petabytes, okay, is called as big data. It is stated that almost 90% of today's data has been generated in the past 3 years. In recent years, only few companies used to generate data. Okay, so in short, we can also define data as a data which is large in volume and a data which is complex, and none of the traditional data management tools like RDBMS are able to store it or process it efficiently. So that data is called as a big data. Okay, the data which grows in volume, the data which is growing exponentially with time, and the data which is very huge, and it is impossible to store that data in the Excel sheet or in any traditional management tools is called as a big data. Okay, so now from this diagram, in 2010 we used to generate very less data, but till 2030 we are going to generate up to 78 yottabytes of data. Okay, now next we will see how from where this data is generated. Now in recent years only few companies used to generate data while others used to consume data. As you can see in the picture, in old model only few companies, like only there were very less news channels and we used to get news through only one channel, and the second source was the newspaper. Okay, but now each and every person is generating data and consuming data because of the internet. Now the question is from where this all data comes. Okay, so this data comes from all the possible sources such as social media like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube. Okay, then e-commerce websites like Amazon, as each and every person nowadays do online shopping through this through this e-commerce websites. Then we have sensors, okay, in shopping malls to gather shopping informations. Then we used to take digital pictures and video captures in our phones. Then we have purchase transaction made through e-commerce. So these are all the sources through which the data is generated. Okay, and this is known as the big data. Next we'll see the types of big data. Now big data is categorized into three types, that is unstructured data, semi-structured data and structured data. Now what is unstructured data? Unstructured data means a data which is not organized in a predefined manner or does not have a predefined data model. It cannot be stored in the form of rows and columns. Okay, so that is called as unstructured data. The examples are CCTV footage, video, images, then web pages, music files, CSV files, etc. So these all comes under unstructured data. In a simple language, we can say that the data which cannot be stored in the form of rows and columns, that is called as unstructured data. Next is semi-structured data. Semi-structured data resides between unstructured data and structured data. Semi-structured data is a data which do not have a predefined model, okay, but has some structure, okay, which contains a tags or other markers to separate the semantic elements, and it enforces some hierarchies of the records and fields within the data. So for an example, take an HTML file. In HTML file, we use tags, okay, to form some hierarchy, or you can take an example of XML file which uses tags to store the data or to form some hierarchy. So these are some of the examples of semi-structured data, okay, which do not have any predefined model, but they are some of the where they are in structured format. Okay, next is structured data. Structured data means the data which we can store in the form of tables. The best example is bank's transaction data. Okay, as you can see on the screen, here we have stored the data of student in the form of table. So this is a structured data which can be easily processed by any traditional data management tools. Okay, so these are the types of big data. Okay, now next comes data science. Now, from where this data science word has come into existence? Okay, so some years ago, data was less and mostly available in structured form, which could be easily stored in Excel sheets and processed using BI tools. But in today's world, data is becoming so vast that approximately 2.5 quintals bytes of data is generating on every day, which leads to data explosion. So this figure is very, very big. Okay. It is estimated that it is estimated as per the researchers that by 2020, 1.7 MB of data will be created at every single second by a single person on the earth. 1.7 MB data. It's a very, very big data. Okay. So now every company or business require the data to work, to grow and improve their business. Okay, but this data is very big. We cannot store this data in the form of Excel and we cannot process the data by using the traditional BI tools. So what's next? Now to handle of such huge amount of data is a challenging task for every organization. Okay, so to handle, process and analyze of this, we require some complex, powerful and efficient algorithm and technology. And that technology came into existence as a data science. Okay, so these are some of the main reasons for using data science technology. So using data science technology, we can convert the massive amount of raw and unstructured data into a meaningful insights. Okay. Nowadays, the data science technology is used by very big brand or even a startup. Okay, like Google, Amazon, Netflix, etc., which handles huge amount of data and are using data science algorithm for better customer experience. Okay, then data science is working on automation transportation like self-driving car, which is a future of our transportation. Data science is also help in different predictions such as various surveys, election, flight ticket confirmation, etc. So now from this you have understood why we need data science. So these are the three main questions which is answered by the data scientist. First of all, for better decision making, whether I should do this or whether I should do that. Okay. Second, to predictive analysis. Data science help us to analyze what will happen in the future. If I take this decision, then what will be the impact of that decision in future? Okay. So all these things is done by the data scientist. Okay, and this also help a business or a company to grow. Then pattern discovery. Is there any hidden information in the data? Now I have a huge amount of data. From that data, I have to analyze. I have to find the insights. Take an example of a shopping online. As a data scientist, my work will be to find some pattern, like how the customer is buying the products, what is the interest of the customer, or at what time the customer is active online, and all this. So this is called pattern discovery. So these are the three main questions which is answered by the data scientist. Now the question comes, then what is data science? Now let's understand what is data science. Okay, so we will just separate the word data science, first we'll understand what is data. So data can be any raw information or structured data collected from different sources. That is data. Okay, what is science? Science is the process of exploring, observing and making sense out of something. This takes us to what is data science. Okay, so data science is a process of extracting the knowledge and insights from the data by using some scientific method. It's called as data science. So we can define data science as data science is a deep study of massive amount of data which involves extracting meaningful insights from raw, structured and unstructured data that is processed using the scientific method, different technologies and algorithms. Okay, so in short we can say that data science means what? We have to fetch or we have to extract the meaningful information or meaningful insights from the raw data. We need to process that data using some scientific methods or machine learning algorithms or different technologies. Okay, so that is called as data science. This was just a bookish definition of the data science. We will understand the data science with a real life example. So let's take an example. What if I tell you that all the humans in some way are a data scientist? You are observing the world all around, no matter what you are doing. At every moment, you are taking the details in your of your surroundings and feeding it to your brain. Okay. Okay, let's take an example. I want to reach to office and I have two routes, that is route A and route B. Now we need to take some decision such as which route will be the best route to reach faster at the location, in which route there will be no traffic jam and which will be the cost effective. So all these decision factors will act as an input data and we will get an appropriate answer from this decision. So this analysis of data is called data analyst, which is a part of data science. Okay. So so as a data scientist we follow some steps. Like first step will be definition of our problem. So my question is, which is the best route to reach the office? Okay, what is my problem here? I want to find which is the best route to reach the office. So my first step will be definition of a problem. So my problem definition is which is the best route to reach the office. Okay, so this is my problem. Now I need to solve this problem. Okay, so for that first I need to collect the data. Okay, so second step will be data collection. Okay, so now what data we are going to collect? We will observe the environment. Okay, so from that we will collect the data like what is the distance of route A and what is the distance of route B, what is the speed of my car, what is the humidity, okay, whether there is a traffic or not, okay, then on which day I am traveling, what will be the time, okay. So all this data I will collect, okay, and I will form that data in a structured manner. Okay, now third step, what I need to process this data. Okay, so now when I am collecting the data the at that time we collect the data which is not required or unnecessary data is collected. For example, the color of the car, how many four wheelers car are there, what is the humidity of the environment, whether it is sunny, whether it is rainy. Okay, so these are what all unnecessary data is also collected at that time. So in data processing means what? We need to clean the data, we need to remove the data, okay, which is not necessary or which is not necessary for the prediction. Okay, so my question is, do I require all that data? So my answer is no, I do not require all that data. Okay, now if I want to decide which route is best, route A or B, so for that I do not require the data like how many two wheelers vehicles are there, how many four wheeler vehicles are there, or what is the color of the vehicle. This all data is not necessary or to decide which route is best. Okay, so I'm going to remove all that data. Okay, that is known as data cleaning or we can say data removing. Okay, which comes under data processing. So from this table you can see that we have route we have taken, distance we have taken, speed, time, day and traffic. We have removed the humidity column. Okay. Okay. Now next comes data exploration and analysis. So in this step, what we do, the data which we have collected, we are going to explore that data. We are going to analyze the data by doing some sort of calculations and by applying some sort of algorithms. And from that, I get that in using, if I go through route A, I will require 1 hour and 25 minutes. Whereas if I use route B, I will require 1 hour. Required very less time, so I will go for route B. So that will be my final solution. Okay, so this was the basic real life example. Okay, so now I hope you have understood this example. Okay, so each and every person in our life are working as a data scientist. Okay, we all are collecting the data each and every second. We all are exploring that data. Okay, we all are processing the data. Okay, we all are feeding that data to our brain. Our brain is processing the data from the past experience and from the current experience. We are predicting the data and we are taking the decisions. Okay, so that is what a data scientist do. Fine. Now now this was the real life example. Now next we will understand the life cycle of data science. Okay, so first is business requirement. Before you even start on a data scientist project, it is critical that you understand the problem you are trying to solve. In this stage, you should also be identifying the certain central objectives of your project by identifying the variables that need to be predicted. In previous example, we have first understand what is the problem, whether I have to go for route A or route B. Okay, second is what? Data acquisition. Data acquisition means what? Now you have defined the objective of your project. Now it's time to start gathering the data. Okay, so data mining is the process of gathering your data from different sources. At this stage, some of the questions will be some of the questions have to be asked to the data scientist, like what data do I need for my project? Where does this data live? How can I obtain that data? What is the most effective way to store and access the data? Okay, so these all questions has to be answered by the data scientist in data acquisition process. Okay, data processing means what? Cleaning and preparing the data. For example, the data could have multiple inconsistencies. Your data set could have some missing values, or there must be some unnecessary data which has to be removed. So these inconsistencies have to be identified and fixed in this stage. Next comes data exploration. Now you have got a sparkling clean set of data, right? Now you are ready to finally get started in your analysis. So data exploration stage is like brainstorming of data analysis. There is where you understand the pattern in your data and retrieve all the useful insights from the data. Within all this useful information, you start to form the hypothesis about your data and the problem you are tackling. For example, if you were predicting the student score, you could try visualizing the relationship between the score and the sleep. Okay. Next is model training. Model training is basically about finding the models that answers the questions most accurately. So the process of model training involves lot of steps and iteration. First, we need to split the input data, okay, into training data set and testing data set. Then we need to build the data by using training data sets. Then we need to evaluate the training and the test data set using series of machine learning algorithms. Then we determine the best solution to answer the questions by comparing the success matrix between the alternative methods. Okay, so these all are things which are done in data modeling. Then last step is deployment. Okay, the goal of this stage is to deploy the model into production or production like environment for final user acceptance. Okay, so this was the life cycle of the data science. Next is steps to learn data science. Those who want to learn data science or those who are planning for the career in data science, okay, they should follow these steps to learn the data science. So first thing is you should know some programming language. Okay, in detail we are going to see this each and every step. Then second, you should be familiar with some of the IDE. IDE means integrated development environment in which you are going to write a code. Then you should be good in data analysis. Okay, you should know some of the machine learning algorithms. Very important step, you should know the maths and statistics. Next is data visualization, in which you come across with some charts and figures. Then last is web scraping. Okay, so if you follow these steps, if you go through this each and every step, if you follow this step, then you will be successful in learning the data science, okay, completely. So now we will see each and every steps. I'm going to tell you the each and every steps in detail. First, we'll see what programming languages is necessary. We have Python, R language, Java, Julia. Okay. So from this, what I prefer is Python is the best language to learn data science. Okay, compared to other languages, as Python contains n number of libraries, and Python is very easy language to learn and also to write the code in Python. So I prefer Python to learn data science. Then different IDEs we have Jupyter, PyCharm, Spider and Python IDE. What I prefer, you should go with Jupyter Notebook, which is very user friendly also. There are n number of IDEs. There is also one IDE called Anaconda, that is also best. Okay, PyCharm is also good for using for writing the code, but what I prefer is Jupyter Notebook. Then next we have libraries in Python for data science. Which libraries you should learn in Python in detail for data science? So these are some of the libraries. First is NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Beautiful Soup, TensorFlow, Scrappy, SciSpy. Now NumPy is NumPy library is basically used for mathematical calculation and statistics. Okay, Pandas is also used for scientific calculations. Okay, it is also used for data visualization sometimes. Then we have scikit-learn. This particular library is used for machine learning. Okay, machine learning algorithms, to implement machine learning algorithms like classification, regression, k-nearest algorithms. Then we have Matplotlib and Seaborn. These both libraries are used for data visualization. Okay, using these libraries you can draw the charts. Okay, like pie chart, bar chart. Then we have Boolean chart, etc. There are n number of charts. Okay, so using that we can visualize our data. Okay, then we have Beautiful Soup and Scrappy. These both libraries are basically used for web scraping. Web scraping means what? From the websites you can fetch the data from the websites. Okay, then we have TensorFlow. TensorFlow is basically a data framework. TensorFlow is basically a framework provided by the Python. Okay, then we have SciSpy. SciSpy is again used for machine learning algorithms. Okay, so these libraries you have to learn in detail. Okay, you should know how to use these libraries. These libraries consist of n number of functions. You have to use that functions and write a code. Okay, then comes important, that is machine learning algorithms. Okay, so these are some of the algorithms which I have listed, which you should know or which you should learn while you are learning data science. Okay, machine learning algorithms are classified into three, that is reinforcement, supervised learning and unsupervised learning. In this diagram I have shown you, like in unsupervised learning we have clustering, and then in supervised learning we have regression and classification. Okay, so these are some of the lists like Navy bias, K-mean, a priori linear regression algorithm, logistic regression, decision tree algorithms. Okay, so you should be very good in all these 10 algorithms when you are learning data science. Okay, we will learn machine learning in detail later on, okay, in other videos. Then next important thing is maths and statistics. You should be very good in maths and statistics. You should know linear algebra. You should know probability and probability problems. You should be able to solve the permutation combination problems. Then differential calculus. These are some of the topics in which you should be good, very good. Okay, when you are learning data science. Next, we will see some of the data science application which we use in our real life. Okay, now data science for targeting advertising. Best example, post ads on the websites. Okay, now take an example. Suppose you want to buy a cell phone. Okay, you go on the Google, you type there Samsung phone or Vivo phone. Okay, you will get some options. After 2-3 days, you will get the advertise of the cell phone on all your social media platform. So here the data science comes into picture, which is used for targeting our audience. Okay. Next is data science for internet search. Again same, it takes users query, it provides results. Okay. Now again take an example of a mobile phone you want to purchase. You just type the query on the Google. You get recommendations of some websites like Flipkart, Amazon and all. Okay, so that is where the data science comes into picture. Then we have data science for e-commerce. Okay, then we have data science for education. In this case we take feedback from the students. So by taking feedback from the students, we get huge amount of data of the students. Through that feedback, we try to understand what are the student requirements and for what courses the students are looking and for what courses students are looking. Okay, so to do all this analysis, we require data science. Then we have data science for video streaming. Take an example of a Netflix. In Netflix, every action of the user is recorded. The show watch, the time of the day when they are viewed, what was the watch time before and after that show. So Netflix uses recommendation systems, okay, in which the background knowledge regarding the products as well as the customer information is taken into account. Similar suggestions are provided based on the content the user have viewed on the Netflix. For example, if the user has watched the film that has uh, thriller and horror, then similar films having the same thriller and horror will be suggested to the user. Okay, so this is how Netflix uses data science. Okay, now very important thing, what are the job roles in data science? So there are many job roles in data science, as you can see. So first is data scientist. So a data scientist is a professional who works with enormous amount of data to come up with compiling business insights through the deployment of various tools, techniques, methodologies and algorithms. So the skill required to become data scientist is you should know R or SAS, SQL, Python, Apache, Spark, MATLAB. Okay. So data scientist must have an understanding of statistics, mathematics, visualization and communication skills. Next come data analyst. Okay, so data analyst is an individual who perform mining of huge amount of data, models of data, look for the patterns, relationship, trends and so on. At the end of the day, he comes up with the visualization and reporting for analyzing the data for decision making and problem solving problems. So the skills to become a data scientist, you must get good background in mathematics, business intelligence and data mining and the basic knowledge of statistics. You should be also familiar with some of the computer languages like Python, SQL. Okay. Then Then we have data architect. Then ML expert. ML expert is nothing but machine learning expert. So machine learning expert is the one who works with various machine learning algorithms used in data science such as regression, clustering, classification, decision tree, random forest, etc. The skill required for machine learning expert is Python, C++, R, Java and Hadoop. Okay. Then we have data engineer. Data engineer, data architect is one and the same. Data engineer works with a massive amount of data and responsible for building and maintaining the data architecture of a data science project. Data engineer also works for the creation of the data set, processed used in modeling, mining, acquisition and verification. So data engineer, the skill required for data engineer is a depth knowledge of SQL, MongoDB, Cassandra, HBase, Apache, Spark, MapReduce with some computer language knowledge of Python, C++, Java, Perl, etc. Okay. Then, so these were some of the job roles for which you can apply after learning data science. So I hope you have understood. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe and press bell icon for new updated videos. Like and share videos with your friends.